But what's in your food? Do you really know? This is an investigative hour that's going to change the way you look at the grocery store. We're going to reveal 3 food additives that you should be aware of, and we're going to start with these. Okay, butylated hydroxytoluene. Just rolls off the tongue.
Beautiful.
Bless you.
And butylated hydroxyanisole.
Well, I'm gonna
again rolls off the tongue.
I'm gonna make it easy for you. BHT and BHA for short. And these synthetic compounds, why are they being put into foods? Because they're preservatives. Where do you find them? Frozen pizza, chewing gum, cereal, snack bars. You sort of get the picture. But guess where else they're found? Embalming fluid, rubber, and last but not least, good old jet fuel.
Yum.
And so the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer does consider both BHA and BHT potential carcinogens. The National Toxicology Program and the Center for Science and the Public Interest advise consumers to completely avoid BHA while they caution against BHT. Animal studies have suggested BHA may lead to tumors. And so you should be aware.
Yes.
And in
read the
animals,
labels.
Also, in animals, they've been shown to have birth defects. So you gotta be careful.
Let's move on. We're gonna move to protein powders. So these were purchased at a health food store. But if you're drinking these, guess what it's like? It's like drinking this. Soda, sort of. There's a common ingredient. It's called acesulfame potassium. It's an artificial sweetener, 200 times sweeter than sugar. You can find it on the label as acesulfame potassium, acesulfame K, ACE K. Health risks? Well, large doses in some studies have been potentially shown to affect thyroid function in some animals like rats, rabbits, and dogs. Other studies on rats have potentially, again, linked it to cancer. So do we have to worry about it as humans? It's one of those tough things.
Right. The FDA actually says you can ingest 15 milligrams per kilogram per body weight, total body weight, and that's okay. It's what they consider GRAS, which is generally recognized as safe. So at the acesulfame.
And the Center for Science and the Public Interest, they contend that the research falls short of scientific standards. Let's move on to one of our favorites, popcorn. The third chemical you need to know, it's been making some headlines. There's a chemical in some buttered popcorn that has been linked to Alzheimer's. It's a butter substitute called diacetyl. A University of Minnesota study looked at diacetyl and found that it intensifies the effects of the abnormal brain proteins found in Alzheimer's disease. And there is a lot to this research, but it comes down to this. Diacetyl may have an impact on your brain.
And other studies coming out from the CDC and the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health have linked diacetyl to lung disease.
The good news is a lot of these companies are taking diacetyl out of their products. And I'm even looking at this popcorn spritzer, and I'm looking at the ingredients, and it doesn't look like it's in here. You can get popcorn now without having to worry about this, but it is listed as an artificial flavor.
You know, it's in a lot of different things. You might even be starting your day with this chemical. It's in some coffee creamers, especially if it's caramel or butterscotch or vanilla flavor.
These are generally recognized as safe by the FDA in quantities. I like to pop my own popcorn with real corn kernels.
Yeah.
I would rather you use a little bit of real butter, maybe a little splash of half and half instead of the artificial versions. It tastes better. You know what's in it.
Skip the salt, little spray of olive oil.
Yeah, olive oil spray.
That's a good way to go.
Ingredients.
The Food and Drug Administration issued this statement to us. The FDA is continuing to monitor new science on diacetyl, but has no evidence that typical consumers of microwave popcorn should be concerned about the small amount of vapors from artificially flavored microwavable popcorn.